Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS for teaching us the truth and sincerity. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that are pushing this word, and salutation to the Akim and a few sisters that may be listening. So today we're going to be talking about judging by appearance, because we listened to a video by the Sakari camp, and they were talking to a man that said he was from he was Scottish.
Yeah, so he looked like more like a so-called white person.
Looked like a so-called it's like a so-called white man, and they were essentially saying that he was an Edomite. They were saying that he can't be, he's not one of them.
Right.
Which is off, because they were just judging by appearance. Even though he was even breaking down his own lineage, saying that he's of so-called black descent.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what we're going to go into. That was the inspiration. So we're going to start off with Jeremiah 23 and 1.
Okay.
1 to 3.
Okay, so this is Jeremiah 23, verse 1. Woe unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord Yahweh.
And I want to go into the NLT. Just part of it says, the second part of it says, for they have destroyed and scattered the very ones they were expected to care for, which is what he's doing. He's supposed to bring these people into the flock, not scatter them away.
Verse 2. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, thy power of Israel against the pastors that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord Yahweh.
And so he's going to be judged for these things. He's going to be, when we get beamed up, or when we get reincarnated into the new land, he's going to be judged for these things for setting the flock off.
Khan. Well, when the destruction comes.
Khan.
Yeah, he's going to get judged for that.
Exactly. Khan.
Verse 3. I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase.
And so it says from other countries, so it's going to be gathering his flocks from different locations, different places.
All countries,
Yeah, all countries. Yeah. That's why you can't judge by the physical appearance. There's been a lot of mixing. A lot of these people don't look so-called the part.
Right.
That's what you judge by the spirits, because the spirit's still in them. It's just the physical appearance that is off, and that can also be a test to you as well.
Khan. When you go into that, just a quick note in regards to like the word pastor. The word pastor, is it goes back to the etymology pasture, where sheep and cows would normally graze, and this is where they actually, and it's also spiritually, if you look at it too, is where we actually receive understanding. So we are likened onto like sheep, grazing on a pasture, and this pasture is this word is truth, right?
I have it here. I'll break it out.
Okay.
So the Hebrew way of saying it, ra'ah.
Strong's H 7462. Ra'ah.
Right.
Which, like you said, goes into pasture, tend, graze, feed, shepherd, ruler, teacher, people of the flock, and down below it says to associate with, to be companions, to be special friend. So it's to be a ruler and lead in the right direction, be a companion with these people. Your flocks are supposed to be your brethren in the spiritual sense. And he was just leading them completely astray. Well, in this specific example, he was leading them astray. And that's what a lot of these other camps do, because I believe GMS is really the only camp that teaches to judge by the spirit, not by just a physical appearance.
Khan. I have a precept, if you don't mind, just to back you up on the point about teaching, edifying, like on giving people the edifying understanding. Okay, it's Colossians 4 verse 6, and it reads, "Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man." Right? So this was an example of, the camp not being able to give this man a full understanding, because, if he did, he should know that a lot of our people were actually present in Scotland in the time of the Dark Ages, right? And then a lot of people mixed amongst the other people, right? So, without this understanding, there's a saying that the apostles and the elders like to say, you have to know the history
mystery.
to understand the mystery, right?
And then that's not even very deep history as well. Like I don't think I'm at a depth in history, but I know that as well. It's not very deep history. Something that he should know, but he's just caught up in looking at the physical appearance. Let's go into Deuteronomy 28 and 64.
Okay,
And this kind of goes into exactly what we're saying. Our people are scattered amongst other nations.
All right, so this is Deuteronomy 28 verse 64, and it reads, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor their fathers have known, even wood and stone."
From one end of the earth to the other. That means any nation our people could be in.
Right.
Any so-called nation our people could be mixed with currently. So if you're judged by physical appearance, you're not gonna actually find them. You're not gonna be able to sift out our people in the mix.
Yeah, he's not trying the spirit, and that's one of the things that he should have done in the beginning.
Let's go into 1 Samuel 16 and 7.
Okay.
Because this goes by another reason we don't look at the physical appearance. Because Yahweh doesn't look at physical appearance. We're following his teachings, which tell us not to do so. So I don't know what scriptures Sakari is reading, but he's definitely not reading. He must be skipping over these ones.
Okay, this is 1 Samuel 16 verse 7. "But the Lord Yahweh said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance, nor on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord Yahweh looketh on the heart," or the mind.
Because heart means mind. So you can't just judge by the physical appearance. Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Because the spirit, because like you were saying in the scriptures, and you see in today's world, a lot of these people that will look like so-called Edomites when they break down their lineage, like brother was saying before we started the lesson, and something that he met at his workplace, they look like Edomites, but when he broke down his lineage, it goes way back into Israelite lands. I forgot which place he said it goes back to, but
yeah, he was a descendant. He had his forefathers that came from parts of like it's either Spain or Portugal, and there were a lot of our people that were scattered there, and a lot of them were they fled into, I think it was the Portuguese colonies. If you look up it was the Inquisition. It's just a little history of how a lot of our people got scattered into different of these lands, right? And this was just during the time of the Dark Ages, when the Catholic Church had a lot of power, and a lot of them, they pushed a lot of these unrighteous decrees, and a lot of our people got pushed into some of these Portuguese colonies, like Angola, Brazil, and even parts of like the islands, like Jamaica, for example. Just a little history.
Yeah, man. So there's a lot of mixing. There's a lot of mixing, a lot of traveling going on. So today they can look very, very, very different. Can you grab Romans 2 and 1? And in the meantime, I'm going to read real quick 1 Corinthians 2 and 10. So, but Yahweh hath revealed unto us by the Spirit, for the Spirit revealeth all things, yea, the deep things of Yahweh. So that's where you go by the Spirit when it comes to looking for our... fishing, looking for the other brethren, checking if they're of our nation. We test their spirit. We don't test their physical appearance. Because that's exactly how it says. We go by the Spirit. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him? Even so the things of Yahweh knoweth no man but the Spirit of Yahweh. So no man is actually going to know, but you have to go by our spirit. We have to see what our spirit feels, see what their spirit brings, if it comes in a corrupt sense, if they're just very carnal, if they actually accept the truth. because that is the only way they'll get into the truth. But you have to test their spirit for that. So if someone's coming up to your camp and earnestly is curious and wants to know more about it, but you're telling them they're Edomite, that is wicked. Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Ghost teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. So we don't just go carnally saying, "Oh, you're a white man," because Esau said you're a white man because, based on your appearance, based on your skin tone. We look at the spiritual.
And right, and that's just to add on to that point, the way when it says man's wisdom, and that's also likened unto a lot of these philosophies that come out of Babylon, because in man's wisdom teaches that, when you go to when you fill out an application, for example, there's only 5 choices of different kinds of people you can descend from, right? You got the black, white, Asian, Latin, and like Pacific Islander or something like that. When we know, according to the Bible, there's more nations that have been listed, right? There's a total of 18 different nations, right? But these are all things that are revealed onto us by the Spirit, and these are things that are revealed onto us, through the scriptures.
So let's dive into Romans 2:1.
Okay, this is Romans 2, verse 1. Therefore thou art excusable, O man, whosoever thou art that judgest, for wherein thou judgest another, thou condemnest thyself, for thou that judgest does it the same things.
And let me bring up NLT for this as well. I don't know if you have NLT. I'll bring NLT here. So it says, "You may think you can condemn such people, but you are just as bad, and you have no excuse." So that goes to Zachary, and what he was saying. He's just as bad. He's wicked. I know he's not perfect in any way. Pretty sure he prophesies in a hat.
Oh, that's going off.
He prophesies in a hat, first of all.
Yeah.
And he's the same one that was in a club, I believe, was it Passover?
I believe so.
Man, and just those alone are enough to be destroyed by. But he's also out here telling someone that may be a Jake that they're Edomite. To continue on, it says, "When you say they are wicked, you should be punished. You are condemning yourself, for you who judge others do these very same things." That's exactly what we were just saying a second ago. He's doing all these other wicked things and these same things that he's condemning this person for.
Right.
He might be more. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that, but yeah, just say that. What's that saying? For one finger that points at someone, you have 4 fingers pointing back at you, or 3 fingers pointing back at you. That's exactly him in this scenario.
I have a precept on that actually. Let me see if I find it.
Oh, Con. I'm going to find Deuteronomy. As you look for that, I'm going to bring out Deuteronomy 30 and see if you can find it in the meantime.
Oh, I got it.
Okay, come on. Bring it out.
All right. So here, okay, so I'll start at 1, but the points in 3. So this is Matthew 7, verse 1. "Judge not that ye be," so it says, Yahushua said, "Judge not that ye be not judged." Verse 2, for with what judgment judge ye shall be judged, and with what measure ye mete, it shall be measured unto you again. Verse 3, here's the point. "And why beholdest thou that mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye?" So he doesn't consider the things that he has to work on for himself to get more of the understanding, but he's making a very impartial judgment on, and he can even be an Israelite, right? He can be one of our people. He just looks like one of the confusion of faces, right? That, those people that the Israelite foreigners that don't look like your typical, Denzel Washington Israelite, right? Verse 4, "Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, Let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is still in thine own eye?" So you're just a hypocrite.
Because
You know?
he's spending so much time judging this other person, he's not even looking inward at himself.
Khan.
Like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
man,
how
just
can you-
disregarding all the wickedness that he's doing himself.
Yeah, Khan. Like you have a bunch of skeletons in your closet, and you're telling this man that, oh yeah, you got all these skeletons in your closet, but you haven't cleaned out your own.
Con man, he's probably it's the same kind of spirit that would bring fruits to give his offering,
Uh,
and tell someone else that they didn't bring enough.
oh boy.
Like man, that's some foolishness. They're too busy looking at other person. They're not judging.
Yeah.
They're not
Looking
judging
at
themselves.
themselves. Khan.
Let's bring out
What's the
two
precept?
more precepts. Deuteronomy 30:3.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? You got Matthew 25
Matthew
and
25?
31, and I'm already here at Deuteronomy, so I'll bring it out real quick.
Okay then. Matthew. Wait. Sorry. Say it again.
Matthew 25 and 31.
Okay.
So Deuteronomy 30:3. That then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all nations whither Yahweh thy power hath scattered thee. So when he comes, when Yahweh Shai comes back to collect his people, he's going to gather us from all nations. Where it says that we were scattered in all nations, it says it multiple. We've already brought up multiple scriptures on this. So I don't know how they went over this or how this goes over to people's head that we are going to be in different, that we're scattered in different nations.
Spirit didn't reveal it to him.
Con. Oh, that's funny. Like we said earlier, we go spiritual onto spiritual, right?
Right. Khan. Yeah.
And if he's not being spiritual, then he's just stuck in his carnal world.
Yeah, he's just being a natural man, so he's just focused on the aesthetic.
Khan
Yeah.
is not renewing his
Yeah.
armor at all.
Yeah, he's not renewing his mind.
That's exactly what it's
Right. Yeah. His mind is not being renewed. It's not being transformed.
Khan.
Right. So
And this is the last precept we have here.
So Matthew 25 verse 31.
Yeah, we'll go to 33 or 34.
Let's start at 31.
Yeah.
Okay, so Matthew 25 verse 31, and it reads, and how shall I say, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and in all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him he shall be gathered of all nations, and
Yeah,
he shall
not one nation, not two nations, not three, all nations.
Con. And he shall separate them one from another, as the shepherd divideth the sheep from the goats.
Yeah, he's gonna actually do his the sifting. Although it's gonna be easy for him, just snaps his finger. You're on the left, you're on the right. He can tell, but he can tell by their spirit. And there's gonna be people that look like Edomites mixed in on the right hand side.
Con. That's the parable of the tares and the wheat.
Con.
Right. So you will have, and you will have it on the reverse as well. So you would have, Edomites that look a little bit more like Israelites. Right.
And people that look like Israelites are gonna be on the left hand side as well.
Yeah. So you're gonna have it both ways, right? So this is why it's important to judge righteous judgment according to their spirit and trying their spirit, right? Verse 33, and he shall set the sheep on the right hand, just so you said, but the goats on the left. And then shall the king say unto them on the right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
Con. So these are the same people from the foundation of the world that came back, because remember, spirits are renewed, they're reincarnated. So that's why you judge by the spirit. These are the same people. They may not have the memory right now, but these are the same people by the spirit. And that's why we judge by the spirit, because there's not new people not new spirits created. It's the same spirits from the foundation of the world coming back. And they may be lost now, but our job is to bring him back to the fold, bring him back home, essentially. Bring him back to the truth, back to the scriptures, get them correct understanding.
Right. Well, the scriptures say that the sheep hear my voice. So what he's saying, he's not saying the right thing.
Right? It's like the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Like they're just
focus on the outward.
Yeah. Focus on the wrong thing, man. They have no balance. They have no real understanding.
Understanding of history, but anything like that. But that's about everything we've got. Unless you have something else.
No, that's all we have here. So let's close up.
Okay.
I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh,
Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to apostles and elders of GMS for teaching this truth in sincerity. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect that are pushing this word. And salutations to the Akim and few sisters that may listen. Shalom.
Shalom.